Yo, how's it going? Anyway, just got my freaking tank in my house in Alaska empty, waiting on the sell. And other than getting the tank itself replaced, there's not much I need to do about it. I think I calmed down. Just thought about that. Anyway, I want to talk about the fuel permit. Fuel permit is based on the state you're located, where you need a fuel permit or not. The state law itself, first check with your local laws, and then check with the city laws, and then check with the state laws. Basically, alcohol or methane. Methane, you do not need a permit to make for. Propane, you do not need a permit to make for in most areas. But alcohol, you do. By state law, you can probably make fermented alcohol, no problem with it. Okay, fine. And then there's the next law is you might need a distill permit by state law. Okay, fine. And then you have a whole other section of federal laws. It does not matter what your state says. The federal state that you need a permit by federal law. As I already discussed it with y'all a while back, I'm in a townhouse, not a house anymore. So, reason why I'm discussing this again because things gonna change. If I do decide to keep it, if I decide to make alcohol fuel again for my car and stuff, it has to be way more securer than it will be in the house because I'm next to the people here. Like if I make brandy or whiskey and stuff like that, or freaking gin for my car fuel and all that stuff, it cannot be, what's the word for it? It has to be secured a lock device that secured another lock device. See, when I was in the house, it just had to be secure in the freaking outbuilding. It would be just easy. Now I need security to secure on the inside to get federal law. Yeah, same thing I said. The other thing is the smell of it. I have to be careful with it. Oh, don't want this whole area to smell like alcohol. There's not really many other laws other than this. I haven't looked at North Dakota laws yet. I'm still waiting on my tax to. I sent my tax into the freaking IRS, and then I'm waiting on my personal tax. I did like I do my business tax and stuff like that because you need a business license to get that bull crap. Same thing I said. I know. Yes, I'm still sick. Other than that, there's not much really need to. I probably won't need one, but then again, if fuel, like when I buy my truck, before I buy my truck, I'm gonna look at the past 3 years for the state of North Dakota and see how the fuel prices be going. And I'm gonna choose the one that has been the cheapest. And if I feel the need, I need to make fuel. Because don't forget, there's multiple kind of fuels, people. Alcohol fuel is just one of them where you need a permit for because it destroys the economy reliance on petroleum, even though we don't have petroleum. LOL. I was gonna give you a quick advice on combustibles. Combustible is basically a bomb going off in a set area using the power of the explosion to make a movement, isometric, polymetric, or static movement. Car-wise, there are 6 pistons, there are 4 pistons, there are 8 pistons, there are 16 pistons, which is the engine crankshaft turning itself going up and down, then pushing the crank, we push the shaft, we push the rotor, we push the differential, we push the tires, and then a bunch of other bullcrap stuff, blah, blah, blah. Now, reason why this is important because there's lead, there's regular lead, there's super lead, there's unleaded, there's diesel, which is oil or lead that has been processed to meet a certain mix where it's have oil properties where it lubricates it, but the main important property is the explosion, the bomb, the freaking combustible, the ability to light paper on fire with oil. Basically, if you dip paper in oil and try to light it on fire, you see it don't go on fire. You want to catch on fire, but you don't want to catch on fire. Basically, that's what fuel is. Douchebag keeps stealing my fuel up there. That's a lot of work. It's expensive to get started, but it's cheaper to do it once you get into it. But it gets annoying when people start stealing stuff. Anyway, um, like freaking Bud Ice, douchebag. Bud Ice and Coors Light came by trying to figure out how I make my alcohol and stuff. Deuce. Anyway, um, they use it basically for alcohol fuel rise. You know that when you drink alcohol, it's either fermented or distilled. If it's fermented, it has its own flavor based on how it's made. And then if it's distilled, it has its own flavor, how it's made, and how much proof it is. Basically, the purer the alcohol, the higher the number it is. In other words, if you to distill alcohol to about 200 percentage, don't drink it, you will die. I mean, there's people that drink 200% alcohol, but I don't drink alcohol. And then there's oil or whatever you're using as a lubricant for your vehicle. I use vegetable oil and meat oil. And then sometimes I use waste oil. It depends on how I feel. So there's the oil, which has to be made through a process where you purify or you don't purify, depends on what kind of vehicle you have, because you need that lubricant to be at a lubricant level where it lubricates the car, but not too much where the crankshaft will not grip, where the pistons would not grip, but it can be too unlubricated or it will break the inside of the vehicle. And then on the other end, you need the alcohol to be at a certain proof where once you mix it with that oil, the oil maintains the lubricant property, and then the alcohol maintains flammable or combustible property where once the spark ignites inside the engine and the piston get that explosion going off, it'll still be have the force to push it down. So it's not that difficult. Basically, here's a quick thing. There's 8 pistons and then there's 16 pistons. Most vehicles that are all 60 pistons are freaking super expensive race vehicles and extremely large Hummers. Congratulations. Most of them. And then there's 8 and 6 pistons. I drive mostly trucks, so we can go with truck. Yes, trucks are heavy. So here's a standard point. You need at least at base 60% alcohol, 60% proof alcohol from my experience. And then you need at least 40% lubricant. That's the end game. You need to start with 80% lubricant, meaning that once you finish, the lubricant be at 40 and the alcohol be at freaking 30. So start at 60 and go 30. That's just my mix. And then once you get the 2 levels out, and then you need to use either 3 cups oil, 1 cup alcohol, or 4 cups oil, half a cup alcohol, because no matter what, if that alcohol, if you made it under lubricant and you made it with high proof alcohol, is going to destroy your vehicle. If you made it super lubricant and high proof alcohol, it'd probably be good. Depends on what vehicle and the way your vehicle is. Or if you made it over lubricant but made it under alcohol proof, it's not going to do anything. It'll just be alcohol mixed with oil. Great. Anyway.